This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to my upload of the Fan Expo Chicago panel of Temura Morrison talking about his time mainly in Star Wars. He does mention some other stuff, but honestly, this one was a lot of fun. This was my second favorite after Mark Hamill. So I do hope you enjoy this. And again, there's going to be small little cuts in here where I stopped recording just to have smaller file sizes. I also have this from kind of an odd angle because I managed to get front row for this one, but was a little off center from the stage. But it's still visible enough. There's also a small little surprise in here, something that no one, even Temura, from what I could gather, was expecting. And if you did mention your name during this panel when you asked a question and you would like me to edit it out, please let me know in the comments. Just include a timestamp to where it is, and I'll go and edit that out as soon as I possibly can. So let's go straight into it.
Sir?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Where's my mic?
Over there. Listen.
Okay, kia ora, everybody. Let me just thank the brothers here. Thank you. Mando, he turned up on my Boba Fett show. In fact, he stole the show. Spectacular how he came on the book of Boba Fett.
Nobody can steal the show from you, sir.
Oh,
No way!
Hey, here he is. Stand up there, brother. Here's my clone. I'm in trouble, man. I'm in trouble, brother. Okay, let me just say a few words in my native tongue, just to say greetings, salutations, and felicitations. Tihe mauri ora. Tihe uri te he noko noko tau tau harangi nui e tūnei. Ko tau ka tau hapa patua nuku e tau nei. Ko i aruku hi a humanua pau rako. Ko i aruku hi a humanua pau wako. Ei ki ta ko ta varu tu tu e ta ko ri ho i ki pu na ho ta ma tu mai ra ta wo i ra ta ki ho ta ho ki ti nui ki ai ki ki ta ma ta tu po ta ki ga ho ha ru ma ta na ta ta ro tu ki ta ki u hi wa ha ro ma tu ki ha ni e hu i e ta ki e nga mana nga ra nga hi te na koutou he uria hau no tawa ko te aroa me tainui e mihi kou ana ki a koutou ngā maunga, ngā awa, te tongata whenua, tēnei whenua, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora, everybody. That was the news. Now for the weather. I acknowledge the sky. I acknowledge Rangi Nui, Sky Father, Mother Earth, Papa Tuanuku. And we are the people in between that came from the gods. So greetings, salutations. I also paid respects to the people of the land, their mountains, their rivers, their waters, their lakes. I greeted my lakes and rivers and mountains from New Zealand and passed on greetings to your lakes and rivers and mountains. And we are the people of the land, the caregivers really, the guardians of our precious Mother Earth. Kia ora, everybody. Kia ora is our Maori word for greetings, salutations. Kia ora.
Kia!
Ora means to live. Kia ora.
Kia!
So we're saying live life, really, live life. Okay, Joe. We're going to give you something to do. I'll be giving you your job. Hey, man, thank you very much for turning up this morning. I'm having a great time. Chicago. Not a place I come to. I just hear about it all the time for some reason. What goes on here?
I hear they have good pizza. They have hot dogs. Good hot dogs.
We had a big steak last night. Woo! Man, I'm still getting over that big steak. At Gibson's, I think. Gibson's, I think.
Oh, Gibson, yeah.
Gibson's steak. Woo! And who's the big lake? Is there a big lake here? The big lake?
I'm from LA, man.
Lake Michigan! Lake Michigan!
That's the Great Lake. The Great
Lake
Michigan.
Michigan!
The big lake.
Great Lake. Yeah. Baseball. What's the team there?
Cubs!
Dr. White Sox.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought that up. My man lost last night at the UFC. Israel Adesanya got choked out by a South African white guy.
Oh.
Duplessis. Good fight though, good fight. Popped over to the casino to watch. We were winning most of the fight. And
Incredible.
Look, we can't win everything. Anyway, I got my Shockers shirt on today.
Yay!
I might look like one of those characters from The Lion King. I thought I looked like one of those zebras or something. Anyway, Joe, lovely to be here. Lovely people here. They're very, very kind. And let me just say, man, I've really, since the book of Boba Fett, fortunately, way back in the year 2000, I was in a movie called Attack of the Clones. Got to play Jango. And that led to many, many years later, getting a phone call to go meet John Favreau and Dave Filoni. And they expressed, I actually got to the meeting early, because I knew something was up. I'd heard about this Mandalorian. So I was very excited. So into the meeting I went, and there was these concept drawings on the wall. And there was a guy with these dark robes on, with a bald head. I said, I'm sure that's me. I'm sure that is me. But I still didn't want to, I still kept it under wraps. Maybe he just looks like me, but anyway. And then they came out, and they told me the good news that they wanted me to come back in and play Boba Fett, the son of Jango. And what a buzz that was. A few months later, I'm in Manhattan Studios, and I'm wearing the green outfit. And I was told to go meet Dave and John again. So I was all dressed up, had the helmet on, took it off, walked into the office. You know what, it was just a moment where I walked in, and I looked at Dave, looked at John, and they looked at me, and I looked back at them. And they gave me a nod. And I gave them a nod. And it was just a nodding moment. It was that nod here. We've got the right guy. It's just a special moment.
That's incredible.
Funny. And then from there, we proceeded to make the book of Boba Fett, and what a lot of fun that was. And got to work with Ming Na. And we just got on like a house on fire. You know, some people you meet, you just connect, and it was like that with her. And I think we both were experienced enough, and we just had a natural camaraderie, a natural charisma. She had a wonderful smile, very professional, and it was just great, just great. And then we also had Robert Rodriguez they brought in as a producer, and he directed a number of the episodes. And Robert's a bit of a rocker, as we all know. He loves that guitar. So many times on set, I've got on the guitar, he's on the guitar. And I said, give us a blues riff, Robert, give us a blues. This is while we're waiting for the crew to set up the cameras. Well, I'm cruising on my Benfire, the sands of Tatooine. I'm headed for Mos Espa. syndicate, yeah. And I'm cruising on my Bentha under the two suns of Tatooine. Oh, hey, Diana. Hey, my brother here. Okay, nice to see you, brother. Now, I got the right shirt on, man. I got the right shirt. Exactly. How did I know that? Hello, everyone. Did you know me and Diana? We actually went all the way back to my first movie in Hollywood.
Yes!
It was a great movie. Don't think anyone saw it, but it was a great movie. It was called Barbed Wire. And I was Pamela Anderson's boyfriend. In the movie, that was. In the movie.
We had a fight scene.
We had a big fight scene.
Huge fight
You
scene.
kicked my butt.
Oh, no, you kicked out my butt. Actually, with my husband.
And your husband, Ron Maliki. Is Ron around? Is he good?
He is over there.
Oh, hey, Ron. There you are, brother. There you are. We had such a good time. And that was the start of my Hollywood career with Barbed Wire, Ron, man, Diana, and, yeah. What are you doing here?
I was
He's a
told.
Jedi.
I was told to come along and sing with you. That's what I was
Okay.
doing.
Okay. I didn't really want anyone to sing with me. Really. Sit down, sit down. Relax, relax.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
So this is surprising me. I had no idea you guys were gonna be here.
Yeah, I'm all the better.
Let's go with it.
All the better.
He said, come on over.
Let's go with it. So first question I have for you guys, for the two of you, and tomorrow, well, also for you. When you guys first joined the Star Wars universe, what was your initial reaction? And how was your character's pitched to you? Especially for you, your character was very secret. Like it was very, very secret. So how were your characters pitched to you? Your Lucasfilms.
It wasn't pitched to me. I kind of just went along for the ride. Dave Filoni discovered me through Google, of all things.
No way.
Yeah, that's how he discovered me. It's because Jon Favreau needed felt for The Mandalorian, episode 5, the Jedi episode. They wanted an authentic martial artist, like who could hopefully act and do the fight scene with Rosario. And so John goes, we have to find a real martial artist. And so Dave Filoni goes, okay. And he went on Google and he typed, I guess, badass female martial artist. My picture came up from an independent film I did called The Sensei. And so and that was years ago when I did this film, and he had me come in and read. And then I still didn't know what the role was about. I didn't know my name was Morgan Elsbeth until the night it aired. So I think it was previous to your episode, actually.
Yes, I did. Sorry.
Yeah, but I would hear about your name floating around on the set, like, Tim's here, Tim's here. I go, oh my gosh, you know, so, yeah, we go way back.
I just got one anonymous audition, like it didn't even say what it was for. It was like a scene from Top Gun, the original Top Gun, yeah. Which I hadn't seen, so I didn't know that. All my friends were like, bro, how could you not know that? I was like, I don't know, didn't see it. Sent in the self-tape, and then a couple days later they just gave the role to me. It was like very quick.
At that point, did you know what the role was?
I knew, yeah, because like 6 months prior, I had seen something about Space Aladdin.
Oh.
I'm like, anyone Space Aladdin, it's definitely me. And so I sent pictures of Ezra Bridger to my manager and agent and said, hey, whenever they cast for this, I'm going to play him. Use these photos. And at that time, I hadn't booked anything ever in LA with them. So I was 3 years of nothing, and they were like, what is this? A Jedi? Like, where are you getting your information? I was like, the universe, I don't know, like, the Force. And my manager loves Star Wars, so he called me. He was like, is this one of your, like, spiritual? I was like, yeah. He was like, I really hope this pans out because I love Star Wars. And I said, I think it's gonna. Like, we'll find out later. And sure enough, after, like, a couple movies and projects, all of a sudden that one audition and happened like that. So.
Wow, that's incredible.
I remember when I got a meeting. I was actually making my way in the galaxy, an employed actor. I was in Los Angeles, and there was a hotel called the Bellage Fund, and I was staying there. And I heard from my agent, oh, you've got a meeting with Star Wars, this casting agent, Robin Gurley. I didn't know what for, but she was the casting agent. Then I looked at the facts. They had faxes back then. Unbelievable. So many people didn't even know what a fax is, but anyway, we had faxes. And anyway, it said, you're meeting Robin Gillen, Star Wars casting agent, on the 10th floor of the Village Hotel. And I was on the 9th. So I thought, gee, that's weird, one floor up there. And I got excited. I went to meet her, we just had a chat. She videoed me. And I think I did a little art house film called Once Were Warriors.
Seen Once Were Warriors, this was
And now
phenomenal.
it's making a bit of noise in the independent circuit. And I met Robin, we had a nice chat, and that was about it. Then a few months later, I got the phone call. I'm back in New Zealand. The phone rings. Yes, hello, Temura. Oh, right, look, Temura, great news for you. We'd love you to play the role of Jango Fett. I went, yeah! I'm Jango Fett. I didn't even know anything about it, so then later on I found out, there was a Boba Fett connection. So I got all the movies out, and I was trying to wait. I started waiting for Boba Fett to appear, and he's like, oh, God, he's not even in this one now. And then he disappears, and then didn't really do much, but anyway, yeah. And then the casting agent came down to New Zealand, right, because I had to find a couple of people that look like me, a young one and a in-between one. So we're driving around New Zealand. Actually, we're driving out of Auckland down to a place called Hamilton. I must have been speeding, and a cop goes flying past, turns around, puts the siren on, and he's chasing me down the road. And I'm looking at Robin Gillen. I said, gee, I'm sure that policeman's following me. Yes, I'm sure he is. I think he wants you to pull over. He said, I'll pull over. So I pulled over. He comes to the window, right? And I go, officer, this is your lucky day. Do you know who this woman is? This woman is casting for Star Wars. Which part would you like? You know what? He still gave me a ticket. So I didn't give him a roll. I said, oh, he's out.
He didn't make the audition, has it?
He never made the audition.
So I have a question for you, Tim. So when you were working on the Attack of the Clones, did you talk to George Lucas about how Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit? Like, did he explain anything at all to you about that?
No. Boba Fett wasn't even in the scenario back then. You're talking about back in the day.
No, yeah, but I'm just talking about the character.
George did direct.
Yeah. Right. But did he just offhandedly tell you? And by the way, if
no, I was supposed to do all that research myself. I didn't do that much. He said, what time's lunch? And yes, and man, what a big lunch. That would be the biggest. That's why I got in the business. Lunches. So they give me a free lunch. And I remember my first job back in New Zealand, I was only like an extra kind of role. But the lunch, man, I'd never seen walnuts in a salad before. Unbelievable. And asparagus. I'd never seen that before. We only had mince on toast and sausages. And Friday we had the same sausages but curried, so they were curried sausages, but they were Monday sausages, so there was a fancy lunch. I said, man, I'm going to do this. They give you clothes to wear, they give you a free lunch, and you had to stand in front of the camera, and I just figured it out pretty quick. You just had to be cool. And I just pretended I was Clint Eastwood. I'm just going to be cool. So usually, Jango Fett's like Clint Eastwood in space, you know. You know, like those Serge Leone, all those old westerns, cowboys, yeah. I just pretended I was like that, you know, but with all the gears on. And then we're doing this big fight scene in Sydney. We actually shot Attack of the Clones in Sydney, Australia, which is only 2 hours on a plane from New Zealand. So subsequently, that's why I used a lot of us Kiwis, New Zealanders, and Australians. And I'm fighting with the stunt guys, getting wet, raining, and I had a couple of doubles there. And I could see them eating all the biscuits while I'm doing all the work. And I got the helmet on. I thought, gee, I'm sure no one can tell who's under this helmet. Get that guy out there. Hey, Stanley, get over here. Put the helmet on. Get in there, do some work. And then I went to eat the biscuits. He said, call me when the helmet comes off and you can see my pretty face. I had to wait a week. It took all about a week to shoot that scene. Yeah, man. And then and then George was so nice to work with too. He was like very calm, He'd always wear that checkered shirt, you know, and the jeans, the denim jeans. A different one every day, but and very calm, very cordial. I love that American Graffiti. Remember that movie, American Graffiti? That's the one I loved, and I was thinking more about that. I was asking George more about that stuff, American Graffiti and Wolfman Jack. And I think Harrison Ford was in it too, wasn't he? And they were racing cars down Van Nuys. I think it was part of that Van Nuys culture in LA back then. So I loved American Graffiti, and to be director at George was very cordial. He doesn't get upset. He's very cool and calm. And I was a bit nervous because my
I was going to ask you if you were nervous.
Yeah, I was
nervous
very
meeting
nervous.
George, and that was, you know.
I was a bit nervous, and they had big screens, and they're watching, and everyone's there. Geez, I hope we got the right. I can tell. I said, geez, I hope we got the right guy to play Jango Fett. I don't know. This guy just keeps singing. He doesn't do anything. He just sings all the time he's on the stage. So yeah, it was just. And then I had the big scene with Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's when he comes to visit my apartment. And little Bob was there. And Ewan McGregor, very good actor. He's very still. Plus he'd been doing it a little bit, so he was more accustomed to that whole, you know, the blue screen, green screen and all that. And I just remember he was so cool, you know, with that Jedi stance. And he wasn't doing anything, he was just like this. He only moved an eyebrow. Oh, man, this guy's cool. I'm gonna try and out cool him. Like your army. And that's what it was like. Trying to be, you know, more subtle. You know, sometimes acting is not about being too theatrical or pushing it. You've got to be very subtle. And if you look at some of the great actors, you know, they don't do that much. They're very still. Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. It was his stillness that gave him that power and that scariness in a way. So there I was trying to outstill Ewan. He's trying to outstill me. It was the battle of the eyebrows. The battle of the eyebrow acting. And I think he won. Because it was my first day, so I was still settling into it. But the next day I was better. Boba, pack your gears. We're leaving. What a buzz that was. And so here we are, all these years later, and I was just explaining before you guys come out and stole my show again. I was telling them about how wonderful it was working with Ming-Na and Robert Rodriguez and out there in Manhattan. And now we've got these volumes, right? And they're not like blue or green screens anymore. We can actually create the world or the scene we're in, like a junkyard in space, and it's all around us.
Nice.
So it's quite spectacular, walking from your changing room into the studio, or the volume we call it now. Even that was a journey. Then you get into the studio itself, and there's the world there, right there. We can even have extras on the wall there, like over there. Imagine extras on the walls in the window there, moving. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable.
I wanted to ask you guys about that because I'm assuming that you all worked with the volume at some point in Manhattan Beach. By the way, I live literally right up the street from your studio. But the volume is such a new technology, and I feel like Star Wars has always really innovated the way filmmaking is. Can you talk about how the volume kind of adds to your performance world?
For me.
No, that's too hard a question.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about working on the volume? Has it made it a little easier?
But it actually has. It was very
I love
green
it,
and
but
you're more surrounded. You feel like you're in there, right? You're in there, you know. And Carl Weathers, God bless his soul, God bless Carl.
Aww.
Let me acknowledge those people. Also Jeremy Bullock. And also we lost a beautiful wardrobe lady. Remember Shana Triple? She did all the costumes for the book of Boba. And even the crew on Yes. So now up there with the big fella up there looking down on us, we feel their spirit. I miss Jeremy Bullock a lot because we used to come to these conventions, and he's that kind of wonderful Englishman. Loved his cricket, his sports, and I used to go, come on, let's do some boxing. Come on, who's your dad? Come on. And we had so much fun with Jeremy, but I think of those people a lot. And Shana was another amazing talent, how she designed all the costumes and things like that. Yeah. Beautiful people too, so just think about their spirit. They always come back to me every now and then, so I just wanted to acknowledge that and their work, their expertise. I was with Carl Weathers actually in Atlanta, and we were supposed to do another convention after that, but yeah, this way it goes, I guess. Kia ora, all those people up there.
Yes.
Okay. That's I think,
Yeah. But you've had the luxury of, but getting back to your question, you've had the luxury of filming both in Japan when you did your fight scene on Mandalorian, right? You did that outside on location in
Yes.
Topanga, right?
That's
And then
right.
you did it on.
That was
set
kind
too.
of new. We actually went out
Robert.
with Robert Rodriguez just out of LA.
It was a badass
All those
fight
rocks
scene.
were. And that's when I arrived, Boba Fett arrived. What an entry that was, Joe. Not many actors get that opportunity to enter a show.
Yeah. It really was a powerful entry.
Even I was getting excited. Here I come. Here I come. Man, what an entry. And then I came out, and the Mando and Ming-Na Master Assassin Fett, they were in deep trouble. So lucky I turned up and saved their asses.
Did you know, too, that this would be the beginning for Boba Fett? Did you know at that time when you were doing that episode?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of. Robert had figured it all out too with his little dolls. He's very clever guy. My favorite scene in the book of Boba Fett was I was talking with all the stunties, and I wanted to have a go with choreographing some of the fights. And he said, "Oh, you can have a go." I said, "Let me have a go. Let me have a go." So I worked with a friend of mine, Jen Sol, who you and Ron know. I went down to that lovely beach just down the road there, Hermosa Beach.
Hermosa Beach.
Yeah, on the sand there. And I took my broomstick down there. And it was the scene where, episode 2, where I go in the bar, and there are all those bikies
Yes.
upsetting all the patrons.
Yes,
And
yes.
I beat them all up, stole their bikes,
It's awesome.
and brought them back to my Tuscan people. And I taught them how to ride a bike.
Yes.
And that was another wonderful experience. I guess they had all that room to find out a little bit more about Boba Fett. Who nurtured him, who brought him up, and it was nice to work with that Tuscan family. It was a little bit hot out there in the sands of Tatooine, which was a car park somewhere in Culver City. Yeah, right through the COVID period too, we were filming, right through that COVID period. They just poured sand on the car park at some university that was closed down for COVID. Put a fence around it, and there we are, on the sands of Tatooine. Yeah, but and then the other thing I was really proud of, I wanted to give them a little bit of just a bit more life, a bit more soul, a bit more energy, and I kind of utilized what we call in our culture, the haka. The haka is like a dance of defiance, preparing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally for a bit of a battle. So I was able to utilize that energy and kind of bring that to the party as well, bring that to the table. So every now and then I sort of get a bit carried away, and I got carried away with my gaffy stick, and those poor stunt guys. They still got a headache. They still got a headache from my gaffy stick.
Did you have more than one of those? Did you break any of those?
Yeah, broke my quite a lot
Yeah.
of those poor stormtrooper stunt guys' heads. They said, "Just hit us for real." I say, "Okay, then." Yes, okay, so that crazy Bowery again, better put them there, tell them to calm down. But that was more of an energy thing, really, That was another thing that I was allowed to do. Plus, in my upbringing, we used to do that in our dancing, where we had a staff fighting stick called a taya, which I used to do when I was a young guy. So I was able to utilize and use some of those skills and bring that energy into Boba Fett as well. So yeah. Lovely to be here. You guys all right there?
Season 2! When's season 2
What's happening over
coming?
there?
When's season 2 coming?
You guys all good over there? I think it's time for a little song just to break the news. Here we go. A little longer song. E papa wayari takune mahi he tu kurai mata ioe ikamate au ehine hoki maira. Wait.
Why am I standing up? This is your show.
Season 2, season 2.
Diane is the daughter of a very talented man called Danny Onisanta. Yeah. And he was with, with the Bruce Lee all that time, all those years ago. And Diane and her husband are both wonderful, talented martial artists and very talented actors as well. So it was a pleasure to see them again after all these years.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
No, we did have a question over here.
No questions.
No questions.
No Star Wars questions.
Boba Fett.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's see how we
We do
go.
Aquaman questions?
Aquaman. Hey, what about that movie? Aquaman. Aquaman. Jason's a very good friend of mine. In fact, what's happening?
Oh, I thought he was going to call him. I thought he was going to pull out his phone.
We're actually I'm doing a project with Jason Momoa, Aquaman, and I was grateful that he gave me a job to be his dad. And I was talking about that movie, Once We're Warriors, that one that really was quite a hard-hitting topic, domestic violence, alcohol. I played the alcoholic, drunken father. And Jason had seen that movie, so it really impinged on him in terms of his cultural background. And this thing. So he made me his dad in Aquaman. And we're working on a project at the moment called Chief of War, 9 episodes for Apple TV. And am I allowed to say that? I guess so. And it's a wonderful. You've never seen anything like it. It's a period piece based on the rivalry and the inter-island battles of Hawaii. Been quite demanding now. We had to speak in fluent Hawaiian, which is similar to Maori, but not quite. But we had my work cut out. And we're still just doing some pickups on that, which I just left New Zealand. And I'm going to go to Hawaii in a couple of weeks to do a couple more scenes. I've just finished a movie called The Bluff with Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman. And Carl Urban out of The Boys. I played the quartermaster Lee, which was kind of good. Caribbean story. Directed by Frank Flowers, who wrote the recent Bob Marley One Love film.
Nice.
So Cayman Island kind of pirate action. Priyanka Chopra is the lead. And what else is happening? Then I might have a small role in Jason's next movie too with Batista. Still working with the producers on that, called The Wrecking Crew.
Nice.
And in the meantime, I'm meeting all the fans for you guys. And that's what we got to.
One thing you didn't mention, though, was the new Mandalorian Grogu movie. You working on that, too?
No.
Yet? Maybe.
He can't say.
You should hijack the movie.
What about Boba Fett? Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba
Yeah,
Fett.
I would agree with this gentleman and her over there. I feel like Book of Boba Fett Season 2 needs to happen.
I'm grateful for the work I've done. And, Disney are now in charge of all that stuff, and they've got to keep an eye on their budgets, I guess. So it was a wonderful experience doing the Book of Boba. We worked very hard, myself. We wanted to lead from the front. We shot right through that COVID period, but I don't know what's happened. I understand they're going to do a Mando with Grogu movie next, and things have changed a little bit too. There was going to be a Mando 4, I think, and I was going to turn up in that, but as of now. I'm still waiting for a phone call, to be quite honest. But we'll see what happens. I think we'll just put it on the shelf for a little bit. Maybe we can come off the shelf later. But I actually very positive reactions from a lot of the fans. And most of them that come to the table for an autograph want to see a Book of Boba Fett too. So it's really great. But I'm just grateful for, Attack of the Clones, working with George Lucas, being part of the family. And that the Book of Boba was just a wonderful experience for me. And had a great time as well.
You've been a part of the Star Wars universe for over 20 years. What have you learned about yourself through the process of working in the Star Wars universe?
These are like
This is a therapy session. You want to lay down as well.
I didn't really see much out of my helmet. I feel better, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Right.
How much was it? Let's take some questions from the audience.
Yes, let's take some questions. Why not I make this easy? I'm going to go to them.
Have we got time for questions?
Yeah, we got time.
Yes, your questions are way too
Go to
hard.
them. My question is
Let's take some easy questions.
Here we go.
Stop recording.
Here we go.
What's your favorite clone legion?
What's my favorite?
What's your favorite clone legion?
Captain Rex. Captain Rex.
I love the clones.
Thank you.
Go ahead, little man. What do you got?
Did you know they cloned a sheep in New Zealand?
This is true. I was talking about this the other day.
I think Dolly was the sheep's name. And me, also from New Zealand. Go figure.
Sam, we got a question right here. What do you got?
So what inspired you to be an actor?
Ooh, good question. What inspired you to be an actor?
I was always a performer. I used to sing a lot and do my cultural dances, and there was a lot of singers in my family. And I thought, man, there's enough singers in our family. I'll go acting. Whatever that is. Sounds good. And that's what happened. I moved to the big city, and I used to be an extra. I started walking around in the background. Okay, you extras, cross the road, action! And I'm going, where's that camera? The camera's way over there. No one can see me over here crossing the road. And I figured out pretty quick, I gotta get closer to that camera. I started pushing the actor out. But I think performance was in me. I love being on the stage. I love telling a few jokes and sharing the energy. And and then I just got one line here and there, and then a couple of little lines here and there, and very humble beginnings and things. Then I got a big job on a soap, actually, as a doctor. And I learned a lot quickly, but I had to learn how to act and learn how to memorize the lines, and I kind of figured it out after a while. But yeah, it was humble beginnings. A few little parts crossing the road first, one line here and there, and then I just carried on, persevered. And in between time, and I wasn't acting, I was a radio DJ. I'd go back to singing and performing again. So yeah, I was always at that performance gene or bug in me, I think. So I think I'm most happiest in front of the camera, doing those looks.
I mean, you're great in front of a live audience, too. We got a question back here. What do you got?
First of all, did you ever find out when lunch was?
Joe, I'm so deaf I have to read lips here.
Did you ever find out when lunch was?
Did I ever find out?
When lunch was.
When lunch was?
Oh yes, that's the first thing I asked.
But for my real question, during your career in Star Wars, you played many different characters, and they all have different armor. Which was your favorite set of armor?
Ooh, I have to go with Boba Fett's armor. Beaten up one. I like wearing the beaten up one, the one with a bit more texture. Sorry, Jango, I have to go. I wish we had that prototype. Would have been kind of cool though, eh? Of some kind of, and that white look. I signed a few of those white helmets. I was mad. I want to imagine if we sort of went with this look kind of thing. But yeah, I love both wearing Jango getting dressed up. And even that's quite empowering, just putting the outfit on, the jetpack. Sometimes at the end of the scene, you finish your line, and then you kind of, the director will go, okay, now look up. It's like you're going to fly away. Are you sure I'm going to fly away? Because I feel stupid just... Don't worry, Tim, don't worry, we're going to do it on special effects. And life's a bit like that. Life, every now and then you've got to have that attitude. Take off! I don't care what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yay!
Every now and then you've got to have that attitude. Give it a go. But still look cool. And eyebrows. Very good, very good. Hey, you guys are good. I'm telling you all my tricks here.
All right, we have a question over here. What's your name? Where are you from?
Noah from Wheaton. Speaking of Boba Fett, who's cooler, Jango Fett or Boba Fett?
Jango. Boba had a bit of chip on his shoulder. He had stuff to get rid of that. Jango was pretty mean, pretty tough. Was supposed to be anyway. Lovely questions. Okay.
We got another one over here.
Okay, Joe.
How you doing? What did George tell you about how you were gonna die?
Very painfully. Did you have to bring that up? I was enjoying that movie up until that point. I could have died. I could have taken off. But no. Where's that Mace Windu? Man, he turned up with that lightsaber. Man. I remember watching that movie in Dallas, actually, when those new Dolby theaters come out. Having a great time in Dallas. Man, there I am. And I looked at the clock. Boom. I'm out of there already. Gee, how's that long? Never mind. I'm not in charge of the writing. What a great time I had, though, doing Jango Fett. We got more questions?
Yes, sir. We got another one right here. What's your name? Where you from?
I seen him. I seen you.
I'm just from Arizona. My question to you is, you working with Dan and Logan, you guys did such a perfect job as a pair. I just have to say, do you guys still keep in contact, and you guys still hold that bond from the movie?
Yeah, I love Daniel. Daniel come from a real tough background. His dad was a gangster, spent a lot of time in prison, most of his life in fact. And Daniel looked to me for a little, really as a father figure. He was a very young guy. Couldn't stop talking. Couldn't stop moving around. You go to a convention, no one can find Daniel. He's just, where's he go? Where's he go? He's got so much energy, but yeah, what a beautiful soul. We get on so well. I love Daniel so much. Now he's grown up, he's in his 30s now, got a little baby. And yeah, I've seen him develop into a beautiful man. Whereas his path could have been right down, could have been in a gang convention, not a Star Wars convention. That's how life is sometimes. So very proud of Daniel. We had great fun. And I sort of just, I just treated him as my real son. Right through that period, working with George and sitting in the spaceship. Star Wars, you're actually not even in the spaceship. At times you're just sort of sitting like this. Hold on, son. We've got a few problems here. Asteroid field, something. Watch out! There I am doing it again. Eyebrow acting. You're not really in the ship, there's just a little thing there for you to play with. Maybe that's not the right term. Let's move on. It's a family show.
Let's move on. We have time for a couple more, maybe. I got one question right here.
Hi, my name's Kira. My question is, I really love your first album, and I say first because I want there to be a second one. Is there any plans for you to record like a 10-2? Like, is that in the works?
I might do another one.
I'm a bit
like that. If I haven't tried something, I'll just give it a go. Some guy said, hey, would you like to do an album? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do an album. I just love covers, all the old crooning stuff. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Yeah!
Karuna.
Tell my girlfriend my Karuna for you. So, with your beautiful vocal range, are we going to hear you sing in Moana 2?
Yes, you are. I've got a little part in Moana 2. No one goes beyond the reef, Moana. Make way!
Oh, yes!
Moana 2 coming out in November.
Sing the Boba Fett theme!
Things on Disney at the moment, the streaming line. I want to catch up with that. What's that Star Wars show? Acolyte,
yeah.
I've got to start watching that. I'm going to take time out, just watch that. Shogun's also on there.
Shogun is awesome! Shogun is awesome.
And I might even watch Boba Fett again, the book of Boba Fett.
Sing the Boba Fett theme!
I didn't really watch it, it was just too exciting, so I've got to watch that again. So yes, yeah.
Well look, you are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank
Thank you very much.
Love you,
everyone.
Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.